Today I'm going to try and lay out a 8x6 radius elbow with a 5-inch throat. First of all, we need to find the cut sizes, and the cut sizes typically come from the working drawing. Here we are going to need a piece 8 plus 5 plus a half plus a quarter. Let's go ahead and chop two pieces 13 3/4 by 13 3/4, required for both cheeks. Now that you have both pieces cut, we are ready to scribe. I am now doing the 1-inch working lines. I will now set the dividers to a 1/2 inch for the yes and drives. I am now using the steel square to scribe a 1/4 inch for the allowance on the male end of the Pittsburgh. Okay, let's add the duck dimension, in this case 8 inches. I am now using the dividers to scribe the throat radius. I am now subtracting or adding 3/16 of an inch for the male end of the Pittsburgh, and I will be doing the same for the heel. There, both cheek patterns are cut. What's left to do is notch. Often we will stack the two patterns and notch both at the same times. But for a beginner, I recommend doing one at a time. It's always good practice to mark the inside of the fitting with an X to identify a right and a left hand pattern. Now you see me going to the power flanger on top of the Pittsburgh lock machine. The main purpose of this flanger is to turn a 3/16 edge up 90 degrees. I have two ways of doing it. I can use the slot on the machine or simply use a pair of vice grips to turn a small edge. I am now using the Pee-wee tape to find the distance of the curve from working line to working line, which is 19 and 5/8 plus 1 inch and 1 inch for my connectors. Therefore, I will need a piece 21 and 5/8 by 8 for the heel. Next, I do the same for the throat. I measure from working line to working line, or the 1 inch line to the 1 inch line. And you will find that you get 7 and 1/16 plus your 2 inches for your connectors. Final cut size 9 and 1/16 by 8. And this is the math that explains the 9 and 1/16 by 8. I will need one heel and one throat. double check to make sure your calculations were correct. Then go ahead and scribe 1-inch Pittsburghs, 1-inch working line. Same thing for the throat. Adjust your dividers to a 1/2 inch for the S and drive connector. Now they're ready to notch. Again, once you get used to this, you can stack your patterns and cut 2 corners at a time. But for now, this is fine. I'm simply double checking my measurements. My cheek is 8 inches. And the throat, you can see that will finish 6 inches after running it through the machine. I'm now going to the Pittsburgh lock to form the female pocket. Now that that's done, my next step is to roll the heel and throat to the proper radius of the cheek. You notice I have the cheek pattern there to give me an idea of what to roll. In this case, it looks like I over-rolled, but don't panic. It's light gauge metal and you can properly unroll it. The throat needs to be rolled opposite to the heel. Often the books will say roll down for the throat and roll up for the heel. Again, I like to overroll my throat. I am now adding the drive cleat connector on the narrow side of the ductwork, in this case, the 6-inch side. And I will do this 4 times. 2 on the throat, 2 on the heel. Again, the drive cleats go towards the outside of the Pittsburgh lock. We will now get ready to assemble the elbow. There you see I got 6 inches wide. This is a tool that some people use to open up the Pittsburgh lock. I have always preferred to use my hammer. Once the pocket is completely opened, we can begin by inserting the cheeks into these. Good practice is to tack the complete fitting before finishing their seams. For elbows, I prefer doing the heel, throat, and finishing off with the last cheek. This little hand dolly is often used to prevent hammer marks all over your fitting. Our working drawing said that we wanted a 5-inch throat radius. I have marked on the steel square 5 inches. Therefore, if you notice, we do have a 5-inch finished throat radius.